No DQ Galaxy. We are live with a recap of Monday Night Raw for Monday, May 15th, 2023. We had a return on this week's episode of Raw. We had a few more matches set up for the Night of Champions premium live event. Let's get right into this recap. Shout out to the early birds, Gomer Kyle, Eric, Matthew, David is a Beasley, Darren G, D Martin Fifth, CC Drink, Calvin Bowman, The Real Wyatt, and Mohammed. Now, Raw kicked off with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn cutting a promo. There was a Hire El Generico sign in the crowd. They talked about how this upcoming match against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa is a gift, not a curse, because it is a chance for revenge on Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn passionately said that Roman Reigns cannot have their tag team titles. Now, of course, it's Monday Night Raw. You get the interruptions. Judgment Day showed up. Kevin Owens was ready to fight, but Sami Zayn wanted to hear them out. Balor wished them luck for Night of Champions, however, said that they will be front of the line when it comes to getting a tag team title match if Zayn and Owens somehow manage to retain their titles. Crowd was very much into Rhea Ripley. They chanted for her. However, when Dominic got on the mic, it was a very different story. They booed the hell out of Dominic once again. Then Damian Priest took a cheap shot to Sami Zayn. They beat down Owens, and Sami Zayn ran them off with a steel chair. Good little opening segment here. Very standard, but entertaining. Dominic out there is always a plus. We then had our first match of the evening, Shinsuke Nakamura versus The Miz. We already saw this match. I did not care about it too much. They're continuing to try and build up Shinsuke Nakamura again. Miz in his usual role of putting over somebody else. Miz wanted a handshake. Shin, though, was not falling for Miz's shady tactics. Kicked the hand away, told him to come on. We had our match. It was back and forth for a while. Nakamura went for a Kinshasa, but Miz slipped away, grabbed the ring apron, and as the referee was trying to fix the ring apron, Miz took the opportunity to poke Nakamura in the eye. Referee was distracted. Miz nailed Nakamura with the skull-crushing finale, but Shin got his foot on the rope. Shin recovered and got the win with the Kinshasa. Now, can this please be the end of it? Match was good, but I mean, I really do not need to see these guys wrestle again. Just saying. We had Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green backstage upset because apparently Liv Morgan was injured on SmackDown, and the tag team title match that was scheduled has been postponed. Adam Pearce said that it'll still happen, and then Raquel challenged Chelsea Green to a singles match. We had the first of what will be multiple Seth Rollins video packages / backstage interviews with Corey Graves. This first one started at the beginning, 2012, when Rollins first won the NXT championship. Corey Graves talked to Rollins about the Shield and then the breakup of the Shield. And who was this Dean Ambrose guy? He sure looked like Jon Moxley. Striking resemblance. And Rollins brought up how he had to take a risk by breaking up the Shield. And of course, the risk ultimately paid off for him. This was part one. And then part 2 was later on. We'll get to that in just a few moments. We had Imperium come to the ring for a promo, and Gunther talked about dominating SmackDown for almost a year. He will continue the mission now on Monday Night Raw. He said that nobody at this time is worthy of fighting him. Nobody has earned his respect, but the winner of the Battle Royal might be able to achieve both of those feats. We had our Battle Royal. The only people to get entrances: Ricochet, Bronson Reed, Apollo Crews, and Matt Riddle. The rest of the guys just waltzed on down there during the commercial break. Tozawa was the first one eliminated. No shock. You had some NXT guys in there on Raw for the first time since the draft. You had Von Wagner out there. You had J.D. McDonough. He was eliminated by Dolph Ziggler. Von Wagner eliminated Ziggler, and then McDonough attacked Ziggler with the steel steps on the outside of the ring. Bronson Reed looked impressive in this match. He eliminated both Ivar and Otis. Bronson Reed was dominating a lot through the second half of the match. He eliminated several people. Imperium ended up going after Matt Riddle, and that helped Reed eliminate Riddle. Ricochet and Mustafa Ali were in the ring with Reed at the very end. They tried to eliminate him. They got him on the apron, and then Ricochet got on Reed's shoulders, and Ali took advantage of this, came off the top of the missile drop kick, and eliminated both Reed and Ricochet to pick up the surprise win, although it did leak earlier in the day that Ali was going to win. Ali got some fireworks, and he will face Gunther for the championship coming up at Night of Champions. So, I mean, we all know Mustafa Ali is not winning that title, but he can sell like nobody's business, and he will make Gunther look like an absolute monster, which, I mean, Gunther already is, but this will just add to the legendary status of Gunther. And like TJS said, at least he gets a match on a premium live event. It's in Saudi Arabia. Mustafa Ali will get a good reaction there, and it'll be fine for what it is. Ali's going to get his ass kicked, and it'll be quite the scene. Pretty much a filler match, but it's fine. It'll be fun. Becky Lynch came to the ring for a promo, and before we get to that, Walter Cruz sent in a $2 super chat, says this was a jobber royal, basically. Yeah, pretty much anybody that's got nothing else better to do was thrown into this battle royal. Another sign that they have too many people under contract at this stage of the game. So Becky Lynch cut a promo, and she said she made the mistake of letting Trish Stratus get too close to her. But Becky did thank Trish Stratus. Trish got her thanks because it was the moment that turned a light on for Becky Lynch. And now Trish wants a fight. She's going to get it. Becky said she will kick Trish's head in at the Night of Champions premium live event. And they did say that next week the match will be made official via a contract signing. So I guess this is a step above previous contract signings. Trish has not technically accepted the match yet, so they're going to do the contract signing next week. That's fine. As long as they don't have the graphic up saying coming up at Night of Champions, as long as WWE.com doesn't have this match listed as an official match, then I guess I'm okay with a contract signing when the match hasn't been made official yet. That's a positive. Anyways, standard promo here. Becky Lynch got a good reaction, though. People were on their feet when she came out there. And we got a little bit of a tease for the future. Rhea Ripley was watching on the monitor. So you know that Becky Lynch-Rhea Ripley match is coming up here soon. And where's Lita, by the way? Caleb Jacobs brought up an interesting point. Maybe Lita will cost Trish the match, and we can get one more Trish and Lita match in WWE. How about that? Renew that rivalry one more time. Why not? We also had Natalya confronting Rhea Ripley backstage, so we're getting that filler match at some point. Speaking of filler matches, we had Xavier Woods versus Dominic Mysterio, which we already saw last week. We don't need to see it again. So to me, it was filler. Xavier and Dom got on the mic a little bit before the match. Xavier had to make a joke about Dom standing behind Rhea Ripley and having to ask her to speak. We had the match. Rhea Ripley was getting involved. She stood in front of Dom on the outside of the ring. Dom took control of the match, did some Three Amigos, went up top for the frog splash, but Xavier got his knees up, and Xavier went for the flying elbow, but Rhea Ripley pulled Dom to the outside. Xavier went out there, started having words with Rhea Ripley, and that was his downfall. Dom took advantage with the referee distracted. Rhea Ripley hit Xavier, cheap shot, and Dom got the pin on Xavier. Second week in a row. Now, there's more to this. Stay tuned. I mean, I'm ready for them to move on, but it ain't gonna happen, folks. Backstage, Ali celebrated his victory running around like a circus clown, all happy-go-lucky, and he ran into Imperium. Things got a little bit more serious here, and basically Gunther said that Ali is in for the worst beating of his life at Night of Champions, and there's going to be a beating that comes along with it. They did shake hands, but then Ali started talking trash, said that he feels bad for Gunther. And I don't know, really. I presume he's a babyface, but he sure doesn't act like one. Maybe Gunther's the babyface in this match. Like, who knows at this point? The This Guy Experience sent in a $2 super chat, says, keep Becky away, Rhea, unless Becky is doing the job. Well, it would not shock me if Becky Lynch wins the title from Rhea Ripley. So I'm just saying it right now. Look back on this video 6 months from now. I apologize in advance, but my gut feeling is Becky Lynch will be the one to end Rhea's title reign. And I could see them having like a John Cena, Randy Orton type of feud. They might trade the title back and forth a couple times, but I expect them to have a lengthy feud, and Becky will probably get the title if I was going to make a prediction on it. We had a JD McDonough video package. The Irish Ace is here to stay, and he was interviewed as he was leaving the arena. He said that he came to Raw to make a statement. That's why he attacked Dolph Ziggler. And he said, never bet against an ace. And as he walked off, we had a very brief camera shot with Finn Balor watching above, like above the parking lot area. So they are teasing the idea that JD will perhaps join JD. Time will tell on that one. We then had an Indus Share squash match. Jinder Mahal was out there. Not much to say about it. Veer has come again. He came, and this time he came with a friend. And after the match, Jinder Mahal basically said, they are looking for tag team gold. Don't see that happening, so you guys can rest easy a little bit. I suspect there'll just be a couple guys to put over the champs, if, of course, Sami Zayn and KO hold on to the tag team titles, and that's not really a guarantee. We then had Imperium backstage confronting Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and Owens said they'll fight all three of them, but Sami Zayn then said that they will get a tag team partner. We had Cody Rhodes come to the ring for his promo, a response to the beating from Brock Lesnar last week. He brought up the arena. They were at the Greensboro Coliseum. He brought up that was the site of the first Starrcade. And then he told a little story about a scorpion and a frog. A scorpion needed to be taken across the pond. The frog didn't want to do it, but the scorpion talked the frog into it, and then the scorpion stung the frog. And the moral of the story was that it's Brock Lesnar's nature to hunt. However, Cody sees himself as the man that broke Brock Lesnar's face apart and broke his spirit. Cody officially accepted the Night of Champions challenge and said that while Lesnar is better than 99% of the roster at Backlash, Brock Lesnar was not better than Cody Rhodes. Lesnar conquered WWE, but he's not the big thing anymore. And as far as Cody is concerned, Brock needs to step aside because Brock is just in Cody's way. Good promo here as usual from Cody Rhodes. It was filler, but it was still a good promo. And next week, Cody and Brock will be under the same roof at the same time. Will there be another pull-apart brawl? Time will tell on that one. Backstage, Candice LeRae did not appreciate that Zoe Stark was making fun of Nikki Cross, and they set up a match for next week. Candice LeRae versus Zoe Stark. I don't care. Moving on here. Raquel versus Chelsea Green to make up for there being no tag team title match. You had a little bit of interference from Sonya Deville. Chelsea Green got the upper hand for a while, but then Raquel made her comeback. Several fallaway slams, fallaway slam city, and then she won with the choke slam bomb. After the match, we got a little bit of a surprise, not too much because you knew the return was coming. Ronda Rousey is back along with Shayna Baszler. They attacked Raquel and said that Raquel will defend the tag team titles with or without Liv Morgan. So there you go. Ronda's back, and I wonder if they're even going to bother now with the Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green tag team title match. Like, does anybody really care if they get the match at this point? I mean, I don't. We had a backstage segment with Gunther shaking hands with Paul Heyman, kind of setting up the end of the show. I mean, more or less giving away that Paul Heyman was going to play a role in the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. We had part 2 of the Seth Rollins story of his life. He talked about the post-Shield characters, but said his favorite was the current Seth freaking Rollins because it was the most authentic version of himself. The hands are off the wheel now. And then he said that he feels like he needs to be the world champion because the current champions are not willing to take risks or push the industry forward. And there was a little tease that next week he will give his true feelings about Roman Reigns. We had a video package for Apollo. Apollo talked about earning his way back to Monday Night Raw. And we'll see how long this Apollo push lasts. I mean, his music is very generic and not sure what he can really bring to the table that's different from what he had before, but we'll see. And then we had our main event of the evening, Damian Priest and Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Lengthy match here, but it was hard for me to get into because, well, they already teased that Paul Heyman was going to show up there. Owens and Zayn got the early momentum, and then Judgment Day called out Dominic and Rhea, Dominic and Rhea Ripley to ringside. They interfered. Dominic tripped Owens, but the referee sensed that there were shenanigans, so he kicked out Dominic and Rhea Ripley. And then Xavier Woods showed up and attacked Dominic. So this feud is continuing. I really do not care about it, but we're getting it. We're likely getting our third Xavier Woods match with Dominic. Feels a lot like Vince McMahon. Don't know what you guys think, but feels very Vince-like. Anyways, match continued, and Sami Zayn eventually got the hot tag, and then Paul Heyman showed up. Paul Heyman got on the phone. Sami Zayn hit the Blue Thunder Bomb and picked up the 1-2-3 victory over Finn Balor. No, he did not. Never works, except for the 1 or 2 times it did work. Did not work on this evening. Maybe if he hit the Helluva Kick sooner, he would have gotten the win, but he chose the Blue Thunder Bomb, which never wins a match, and only gave Heyman more time to execute his plan. So Sami Zayn screwed up by trying to win with that Blue Thunder Bomb, because it never wins. It just buys the bad guys more time. So Imperium showed up, all part of Paul Heyman's plan, and they interfered. They were getting involved. The referee, for whatever reason, allowed them to be out there, but not Dominic and Rhea Ripley. And Zayn had the match won, but then Imperium, they interfered. Kevin Owens went after them, but then Damian Priest choke slammed Owens on the apron, and then Sami Zayn was trying to win. Gunther grabbed Sami Zayn's foot as he went for the Helluva Kick. Referee was distracted, not kicking them out. And then Finn Balor picked up the win with the coup de grace. Judgment Day gets a win, and I suppose they'll get a tag team title match if, of course, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens retain, which I'm leaning towards they will, but we'll do predictions next week. All in all, Raw was decent, but not a largely memorable show by any means. I felt like it was very much a filler Raw, where if you missed it, you really didn't miss a whole lot. It was solid, though, if you watched it. I'm going with C+, slightly above average. Decent show, but nothing too special. And that was Raw. We got Night of Champions coming up, and we got Double or Nothing. So the end of May is going to be busy for sure. Next week, we'll be doing predictions for both of those shows. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Next week will be Night of Champions predictions. And then Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern will be Double or Nothing predictions. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat, says prediction for KO and Sami Zayn's partner. Probably Matt Riddle. I'm not expecting much. So yeah, Matt Riddle. They're already used to being a team, even though they lost at Backlash. I could see them going with Riddle. And didn't Imperium cause problems with Riddle during the Battle Royal? Yeah, they did. So I would expect Riddle. Next week's a contract signing, which I'm usually not thrilled about, but as long as they don't advertise that match in advance, then I'm fine with it, whatever. And the Brock Lesnar, Cody, face-to-face, I mean, whatever. We've already seen them face-to-face. We've already seen a pull-apart brawl. Hopefully they give us something different, but I'm not expecting too much. And I mean, I'm sure the pay-per-view will be entertaining, but not particularly feeling it that much, at least up to this point. Not really feeling Double or Nothing much either. Like the Pillars match, I mean, I fully expect MJF to retain. The Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club, whatever they do, like, I'm sure that'll be great. But I don't think they've officially announced anything with those guys yet. And they're running out of time. I suspect that we'll get some kind of announcement on Wednesday. And speaking of Wednesday, I will be back doing the live recap on Wednesday. For those of you wondering, I'll be back, and we'll be talking about Dynamite as well as Double or Nothing. So tune in for that. Have a great week, everybody. Much love and appreciation to all of you out there. And this guy Experience, I'm not sure if I missed your super chat. Keep Becky away from Rhea unless Becky's doing the job. I did mention it earlier. I think Becky's probably going to win the title. And Double or Nothing's going to be a great show. Like, let's not even diss them. If the build-up is not great, doesn't really matter. They always deliver on pay-per-view. So I expect it to be a great show. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your week. Much love and appreciation to you all. Say yes to NoDQ.com, and I will see you all next time.